What does this one say?
Thank you.
Thank you. And what does the other one say?
What does this one say? What's the other side say? It says, welcome.
Welcome home.
This time, and I'm a Vietnam War veteran, and of course we remember coming home at that point, and that's part of what Josh had in mind, drawing that kind of distinction, say, no, regardless of your political position in the war, our loyalty to the guys and gals who went is deep and immutable. And I think the parade was a great statement of that.
And give us your name.
My name is Ginger Cunningham from Kensington, New Hampshire, and I've been a Carol supporter since, probably the day she started running. I find her common sense and her empathy with people that she serves. My husband is going to be walking with Carol today. He usually brings the American flag to all of her functions and tries to make sure that he's right there with her.
So this is wonderful. Lots to celebrate.
Yeah, it is a lot to celebrate. Absolutely. Great day for celebrating.
It is.
I think she's the wife of a veteran, and she supports the veterans and their families. She tries to do whatever she can to make sure they stay safe as possible. And I think the big one I really remember is her helping to get rid of the open burn pits they had in Iraq, that the fumes were making a lot of the soldiers over there very, very sick. And she hasn't stopped.
This
This is a commission, the Governor's Commission on PTSD and TBI. We were established to study the effects of PTSD and TBI on veterans in our state so that we could work to improve the care that our state can provide to them. The VA can only do so much, so we're trying to learn about what their needs are as a group, and that way we can start focusing our efforts, whether it be financially, whether it be lobbying for improved services, for health care for all of our veterans to help supplement the work that the VA is trying to do.
Hampshire, so that's why I got appointed to the Governor's Commission. I work with traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury in Hampshire.
We tried to get a register going so that we look at these vets every single year, that we don't have vets coming back in 5 years and 10 years and say, you know, I have some problems, and I have some neurological problems, or I've gotten cancer, I have some lung and skin diseases like you remember so well.
Yes.
So we could use help with that. Asking the VA to make sure they have a register set up. And I have told men and women, you could tell them too, any vets that you know, to make sure they tell the doctors, and don't just tell one, but tell them all that they were there, that they were exposed, that they were, you know, in theater, because if they have a problem in 5 or 10 years, I've already been seeing a lot of neurological and rashes and cancers, very rare cancers. So everybody's suspicious about it, but we really need to make sure that these men and women actually put themselves on record. So if anything happens, they have proof that they were there. You can go to burn pits. Just type in burn pits, Google burn pits, and you will see everything about that. So, because that group there, when we talked about undercounting and not having enough money for them, that group there is going to need a lot more follow-up, and they're going to need a lot more money.
So what we're trying to do with this survey through the commission is to study the effects right up front of PTSD and TBI that we know now are diagnoses that they didn't even have for like the Vietnam vets. PTSD, what was that? Now we know they have that diagnosis and they can do something about it, but we have to find out who's being served, who isn't being served, and also link the private sector. The private sector is doing a lot of good work with veterans that they can contract with the government, and so that's the other thing that we're looking into.
Well, my first message is to those who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and on behalf of the 1.3 million people in New Hampshire, thank you. Thank you for your service, thank you for your courage, and thank you for your sacrifice.
Now, not all the soldiers are home yet. The Iraq war may be over, but the Afghanistan war is still going on. But when that war is over, I propose that we meet again, march again, and welcome those troops home with the same fanfare that we were welcomed home with today.
And I think it's also important. This is a really good unifying event because regardless of your opinion of the war, it's over. If you supported the war, then it's mission accomplished. If you didn't support the war, but you still supported the troops, you're happy they're home. If you didn't support the war and, God forbid, you were against the troops, it's over. So.